The youngest son of Bob Marley just turned a prison where people got locked up for weed into a $20 million cannabis empire, and nobody saw it coming. Born Damian Robert Nesta Marley on July 21, 1978 in Kingston, Jamaica. This kid had music in his blood from day one. His mother Cindy Breakspeare was a Canadian-Jamaican jazz musician and crowned Miss World 1976. His father was the legendary Bob Marley himself. But here's the twist. Damian was born out of wedlock while Bob was still married to Rita Marley. When Damian was just a baby, his father watched a movie called Damien Omen 2 about the Antichrist coming to Earth. Bob, being a devoted Rastafarian, freaked out, and one of his last requests before dying was to have his son's name changed. Bob said having a child named after the devil was inappropriate for a Rastafarian, and Damian's name was officially changed. Damian was only 2 years old when his father passed away from cancer in 1981. So he never really got to know the man who would define his entire life's path. Growing up without his father but carrying his massive legacy was both a blessing and a curse. Think about it. Your dad is literally the most famous reggae artist in history. How do you live up to that? Most people would crumble under that pressure, but Damian was different. He got his nickname Junior Gong from his father's nickname Tuff Gong, immediately connecting him to that legacy. But instead of running from it or trying to copy his father exactly, he decided to create his own sound. At just 13 years old in 1991, Damian helped form a group called The Shepherds with other children of famous reggae musicians, including Freddie McGregor's daughter and Third World's Cat Core's son. The group opened the Reggae Sunsplash Festival in 1992, which was huge for kids their age. But the group broke up shortly after, and Damian knew it was time to go solo. His debut album Mr. Marley dropped in 1996 when he was only 18 years old. The album was released through his father's label Tuff Gong, and it showed promise but didn't blow up the charts. He was still finding his voice, still trying to figure out how to blend traditional reggae with the hip-hop and dancehall sounds that were taking over in the 90s. Critics noticed his potential, but the album sold modestly. Then came his breakthrough moment with Halfway Tree in 2001. The album title was genius because Halfway Tree is an actual location in Kingston, Jamaica that sits between the rich uptown areas and the poor downtown ghettos. It represented Damian's own life perfectly, caught between his mother's privileged Miss World background and his father's roots-conscious Rastafarian lifestyle. The album showed real growth and maturity in his music. Halfway Tree initially sold around 50,000 copies, which wasn't massive, but it built a serious grassroots following through constant touring in Jamaica and select international markets. But here's where things got interesting. At the 2002 Grammy Awards, Halfway Tree won Best Reggae Album. This was Damian's first Grammy, and it validated everything he'd been working toward for years. The win was shared with his brother Stephen Marley, who co-produced the album, showing how the Marley family worked together. This Grammy came during an era when commercial dancehall was dominating the charts, so for Damian to win with his roots-oriented conscious lyrics was a big statement. By 2000, the album still hadn't sold 100,000 units, but the Grammy put him on the map as a serious artist in his own right. Then 2005 happened and everything exploded. Welcome to Jamrock, his third studio album, was released on September 12, 2005 through Tuff Gong and Universal Records. The title track Welcome to Jamrock became an instant anthem that changed everything. The song sampled World of Music by Eni Kamos and delivered brutal, honest lyrics about the reality of life in Jamaica's ghettos. Damian rapped in rapid-fire patois about violence, poverty, political corruption, and the dark side of Jamaica that tourists never see. The hook went out to the streets, and people felt it in their souls. The song peaked at number 55 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was massive for a reggae song. The album debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200 and sold 86,000 copies in its first week in the United States alone. It eventually went gold, selling over 500,000 copies, but the real history-making moment came at the 2006 Grammy Awards on February 8. Damian Marley became the first, and still to this day the only Jamaican artist to win 2 Grammys in one night. He won Best Reggae Album for Welcome to Jamrock and Best Urban Alternative Performance for the title track. Nobody had ever done that before in reggae history. The Best Urban Alternative Performance category was especially significant because no other reggae artist has won in that category at the Grammys ever. The album's success wasn't just about sales and awards though. It sparked serious controversy back home in Jamaica. Critics, including columnist Donna Golding, accused Damian of making Jamaica look bad to tourists by showing poverty, garbage-filled streets, and violence in the music video. The Jamaica Tourist Board wasn't happy because they spend millions promoting Jamaica as a beautiful paradise, and here comes Damian showing the ugly reality. Some people said he was airing dirty laundry and hurting the country's image for personal profit, but defenders of the song praised its brutal honesty. They said Damian was doing what his father did, exposing the root problems in Jamaican society like tribal politics, corruption, and inequality instead of pretending everything was perfect. The controversy actually helped the song become even more popular because suddenly everyone was talking about it. Critics like Steve Yates from The Observer gave the album 5 stars, saying Damian was tucked behind the cutting edge of digital production like his father, but his songs outshine modern dancehall. David Jeffries from AllMusic gave it 4 stars, calling it a career-defining moment with a bulging lyric sheet filled with vivid, crafty lines. The album lived up to its huge hit single and was a tremendous achievement. Welcome to Jamrock has been recognized as one of the greatest reggae albums ever made, and the title track was listed at number 270 on Pitchfork Media's top 500 songs of the 2000s. After that massive success, Damian could have just kept making the same type of music, but he wanted to push boundaries. In 2010, he released Distant Relatives, a full collaboration album with rapper Nas. The album explored the connection between reggae and hip-hop and traced both genres back to their African roots. They had previously worked together on Road to Zion from Welcome to Jamrock, so they already had chemistry. The entire album was themed around Africa, ancestry, poverty, and social commentary about the United States and Africa. Damian and his brother Stephen produced most of the album and announced that all proceeds would go toward building schools in the Congo. The album debuted at number 5 on the Billboard 200 with 57,000 copies sold in the first week. It hit number 1 on the R&B, hip-hop albums, rap albums, and reggae albums charts. The album proved Damian could successfully blend different musical worlds and create something meaningful. In 2017, Damian released Stony Hill, his 4th studio album. The first single, Nail Pawn Cross, dropped in August 2016, and the full album came out in July 2017. At the 60th Annual Grammy Awards in 2018, Stony Hill won Best Reggae Album, giving Damian his 4th career Grammy. The album showed another level of maturity, dealing with themes of spirituality, struggle, and gratitude. By this point, Damian had established himself as one of the most important voices in modern reggae, with a unique sound that respected tradition while pushing the genre forward. But music was only part of Damian's empire building. Being a devoted Rastafarian who uses cannabis daily for spiritual clarity, meditation, and focus, he saw an opportunity when marijuana laws started changing in the United States. In September 2016, Damian made history again by becoming the first major music artist to open a cannabis dispensary. He partnered with True Cannabis, a Colorado-based company, to open Damian Marley Stony Hill by True Cannabis in Denver, right next to Mile High Stadium. Damian personally helped develop and test the signature strain, also called Stony Hill. He told Billboard magazine he didn't know in his lifetime he'd be opening a dispensary. He said Rastafarians have always advocated for legalizing marijuana and always hoped to be involved, but he never predicted it would actually happen. The dispensary featured a full line of cannabis products, including edibles, extracts, and various strains. Inside the store, they created a stunning mural of the Jamaican landscape where Damian grew up, showing exactly where Stony Hill got its name. They installed a green screen where customers could take photos with different backdrops, including pictures with Damian himself. The location was perfect for tourists heading to the mountains or staying in Denver, and it became a must-visit spot. But Damian wasn't done with cannabis. In 2018, he went even bigger by partnering with Ocean-Grown Extracts to convert a 77,000 square foot former California prison in Coalinga into a massive cannabis growing operation. The Claremont Custody Center used to house people who were arrested for growing and selling weed. Now it grows medical marijuana for California dispensaries. The irony was beautiful. A place that once locked people up for weed was now producing it legally to help people with medical conditions. Damian said in an interview with Interview magazine that he personally didn't buy the prison but partnered with Ocean-Grown Extracts, who were looking for a place to grow. The prison happened to be on the market, and the serendipity of the story was perfect. They're growing herb in a place that was once used to lock up people for possession of herb. He called it a beautiful story representing how far society has come. The partnership also launched Stony Hill Ventures Limited, a private equity firm that invests in cannabis companies. According to financial reports from 2017, the company raised over $1 million in its first year to acquire equity stakes in marijuana companies in the United States and Israel. They purchased under 5% of Cannabis Tech Limited in Israel for $50,000. They bought 80% of McKig Inc. assets in Nevada, which makes medical cannabis products, for $200,000 with an option to buy the rest. They entered marketing agreements to license the Damian Marley Stony Hill name in Oregon and other states. In 2018, Stony Hill launched a line of hemp-derived CBD products, including gummies, topical lotions and tinctures, sold online at stonyhillcbd.com and in select dispensaries nationwide. The CBD gummies came in daytime and nighttime versions, with the nighttime having added melatonin for sleep. The topical lotions were scented with blood orange essential oil and designed to treat pain and inflammation. Chris Bridges, the president of Stony Hill, said, "The hemp-derived CBD market was expected to surpass $450 million by 2020, and they were pleased to get involved during the industry's infancy." Damian worked closely with doctors, scientists and industry advocates to educate people about the healing benefits of cannabis, which aligned perfectly with Rastafarian beliefs about ganja healing the nations. His cannabis empire became a significant part of his wealth beyond just music. On the personal side, Damian has kept his family life very private. He's been married to Cristal Chaitram since 2013, though some sources say they started dating back in 2006. The couple has a son named Elijah Marley, born August 19, 2009 in Miami, Florida. Elijah has shown interest in music, specifically drumming, following the family tradition. Damian also has another son named Christian Marley from a previous relationship, though he keeps details about that very private. Despite being in the spotlight, Damian maintains a low-key personal life and rarely features his family on social media. He lives in Miami with his wife and children, away from the constant attention that comes with being a Marley. His touring schedule stays packed with major performances. In 2024, he reunited with his brothers Ziggy, Stephen, Julian and Kaimani for the Marley Brothers A Legacy tour. This was their first tour together in 2 decades, and it was a massive event celebrating their father Bob Marley's 80th birthday in 2025 and the release of the biopic Bob Marley One Love. The 22-date tour ran through September and October 2024, with shows in Vancouver, Phoenix, Austin, Cincinnati, New York, Toronto, Atlanta and Miami. They performed individual songs and standouts from their father's catalog together. Damian also hosts the Welcome to Jamrock Reggae cruise, which celebrated its 10th anniversary in 2024. The cruise sells out every year and features top-tier reggae acts, including the third generation of Marleys, with Bob's grandchildren Mystic, Skip, YG and Johan billed as Marley third generation. Oh, what's Damian Marley worth today? As of 2025, his net worth is estimated at $20 million. That puts him among the wealthiest of Bob Marley's children, alongside his brothers Ziggy and Stephen, who each have around $20 million as well. Back in 2020, before his cannabis empire really took off, his net worth was valued at around $1.5 million, making him dancehall's wealthiest artist under 35 at that time. In just a few years, he more than tripled his wealth through smart business moves. His income comes from multiple streams, including album sales, streaming revenue with over 2.9 million YouTube subscribers, touring and live performances commanding high fees, merchandise sales. His cannabis businesses, including dispensaries, cultivation facilities, and CBD product lines, real estate investments, and brand endorsements. His estimated annual income ranges between $3.5 million and $4.4 million, showing his enduring appeal and business skills. Over his career, Damian has worked with an incredible list of artists, proving his versatility. He's collaborated with Nas on Distant Relatives, Skrillex on various tracks, Bruno Mars, Jay-Z, Gwen Stefani, Karol G, Mariah Carey on her E=MC album track Cruise Control, the supergroup Super Heavy with Mick Jagger and Dave Stewart from Eurythmics that released a self-titled album in 2011, his brothers Stephen and Julian Marley on multiple projects, and countless other reggae and hip-hop artists. His music has been featured in video games like FIFA 06, FIFA 23, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix, and The Sims 2 Bon Voyage, recorded in Simlish language. His influence extends far beyond just reggae into mainstream pop culture. Damian Marley has won 4 Grammy Awards total, making him one of the most decorated reggae artists of his generation. First Grammy in 2002 for Halfway Tree Best Reggae Album, 2 Grammys in 2006 for Welcome to Jamrock Best Reggae Album and Best Urban Alternative Performance for the title track, making history as the only Jamaican to win 2 in one night. 4th Grammy in 2018 for Stony Hill Best Reggae Album. These awards cement his legacy as not just Bob Marley's son, but as a groundbreaking artist in his own right who pushed reggae into new territories. At 47 years old in 2025, Damian shows no signs of slowing down. He continues touring internationally, releasing new music, expanding his cannabis business empire, and carrying on his father's legacy of using music and business to create positive change. From the kid who was 2 when his father died to becoming a 4-time Grammy winner and multi-millionaire entrepreneur, Damian has proven he's much more than just Bob Marley's youngest son. He's carved his own legendary path in music history while honoring the Rastafarian principles his father lived by. So stick around, because this Marley story is still being written and the best chapters might be yet to come.